And the Scandinavian nation failed to qualify for 2 years in a row. Now, if this happens again, by the way, this year, this would be their longest non-qualification streak ever. So Reiley is hoping to save the day. His Breaking My Heart was victorious in Dansk Melodi Grand Prix, and the young singer is a major social media personality on TikTok, apparently. I'm not familiar with TikTok, but people tell me. And also, he had success in the South Korean charts, and according to Reiley, he says the song was written during a toxic romantic relationship that Reiley had faced. So, what do we think about the song? Only one way to find out, by talking about it. So, I will say that the song to me is absolutely within Denmark's comfort zone. Like, this is a Danish friendly song, even though it won the televote, but what Danish broadcaster is comfortable with, I feel like. And I kind of like it. I'm not going to lie. It's a bit young and very Gen Z focused almost, but it's still enjoyable to me, actually. It's cute, it's catchy, and I'm digging the vibe more than I thought I did, actually. Now, still curious if they will allow this effect during the chorus to be used at the contest, and I really think that Breaking My Heart could actually break Eurovision. And by that, I mean, if it's allowed here, this is here to stay, and vocals become less or irrelevant or less relevant in the future because, it really overshadows his actual singing. But I'm here to judge the song. And while once again, it's not going to set my personal scoreboard on fire, it's a pleasant melody. And everything is just totally digestible in the song to me. A few broader audience appeal here as well. They could do quite well at the contest. So I'm thinking this could go quite far, especially in the semi too. I would have loved if the song would have taken a few more risks, because it's definitely more in the predictable bucket. Like, I kind of knew what would happen in the song next. So there were no surprise moments. But in some ways, maybe that's also a good thing. It's just a comfortable, easy, fun song that people just, you don't always have to have like the Serbias and all that stuff that's out there. So it's just fun. I enjoy it. And that's where I land. How about you, James?
All right. So for this one, for those keeping track, this is our very first entry ever from the Faroe Islands. And when I first heard that, I was like, oh, yeah, they make great music there. Like, oh, the Heathen Hammer High. Oh, great metal songs out of that part of the world. And then, we come to this song. Okay, which is nothing like that. And it's some TikTok fella. And like Matt, I'm like, you kids on my lawn doing your dances on the TikTok. Get off. What the hell are you doing? And yeah, I think it does suffer from what us old farts consider the ADD of the TikTok generation. Because like Matt said, it starts off really pleasantly. It's got a nice flow to it. The pre-chorus I really like. And then that robot chorus hits and it's like, it just takes me right out of it. So that is just a really huge problem for me. And also, it just keeps recycling a lot of the same parts. It just gets real repetitive, and I'm kind of indifferent about it. I don't hate it, and I'm not going to, in my elderly stupor, get out of bed shouting "Reiley,
Reiley."
But yeah, just indifference for me.
Indifference from James. Connor, where do you fall?
So I agree with most of the sentiments that have been made, especially about like the robotic vocoder overlay here. I just, for me as an artist, I should say I'm an artist, as a musician, as a singer, I question why the songwriters wrote this song in the key that it's in, knowing that he can't sing those notes with good support, with or without that kind of robotic overlay. Because I think that's the problem we have here. We've been and we've heard at the pre-parties that it's just his notes are so open and unsupported that it sounds bad. So at a point, if we don't get that, I feel like it's going to struggle and just stumble all the way down. And I don't want that. I like this song in studio and I enjoy it, but every time I watch the live performance, I'm just like, oh gosh, this gives me a lot of nerves and anxiety for how it's gonna go. So it's it's a wild card for me this year because I think it depends on how Denmark addresses this. Maybe they lower the key. Maybe they have a dub vocal behind him that's going to help here. Something. They have to reinvent the wheel slightly, because as it is right now, I'm not very confident in how this is going to go live in Liverpool.
Yeah, that's a very fair assessment in my view as well, actually. And everyone in the chat, feel free to ask questions or statements, and we'll try to address them. Let's give our scores here real quick. I will say that Reiley is lucky that I gave my score like a few weeks ago after only listening to it once or twice. It probably grew off a little bit of me, but I'm maybe glad. It's a sweet, hummable sing-along song, and it's a little bit more of the uplifting songs this year that you're just like da-da-da, and Denmark is so good at sending sweet songs. So I have it as a 7.5. It would be more like a 7 or 6.5 now by now, probably. But as I said, lucky Reiley. James.
Right on the indifferent mark, 5 for me.
All right, smack down in the middle, 5 points. Connor.
Well, it's not a 2, so that's exciting. We finally entered my congenial era here, but it's a 5 for me as well. It's very much just I seek it out in the studio. I don't seek it out in the live performance right now, and I'm gonna have to really wait until Liverpool to see, I guess, what's my final reaction to what we have, what Denmark has as a package.
All right. There you have it. This is what we gave Denmark. Let's see what Team United overall gave it. So based on this right now, I'm not too confident, but let's find out. Denmark has received 5.92. Currently in 9th place, I see Albania. I forgot to fix the 10th place there. They're in 10th, but that's fixed on the next scoreboard. Don't worry. I just was too lazy to redo it when I saw that. I didn't have time. I wasn't too lazy. Just, I had I only had a few hours. Anyway, I digress. The point is 9th place, 5.92, which is closer to 6 than 5, which the two of you gave. James, what are your thoughts?
Connor, did we hire a bunch of kids recently to bring up?
Hey, I gave it a higher score. Right here, I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah, I expected it to be a little lower. I expected it to be in the Switzerland, Greece cluster, mostly because I've been hearing a lot of polarizing views on this one. So for me, this one actually is a little higher than expected. So yeah, I wonder if Connor's like hiding a stable of 20 to 25-year-olds we don't know about.
I'm right here again. I think this song actually has a lot more broad appeal than people. That's often with Denmark in the case anyways, like even Love Us Forever. I'm not there is this almost deep-seated dislike for certain songs from Denmark, and then they do quite well at the contest. Not the past couple of years, but in the past. So there is something to be said for those songs. So I could see Denmark falling into a similar bucket, at least with the televoters. They tend to do quite well, actually. And I think they have this thing where they're oftentimes undervalued, estimated, for the lack of a better word. So I could see that happening here as well. Maybe that's why it is a little higher than some of us thought, because I would say the same thing. Let's bring this one up. Freedom was miles better. That's the song that came second in the Danish national final. And not only that, it actually won the televote, but the juries overruled that one. James, I would assume you would agree with that?
Yes, I would agree with that.
Yeah, me too. Connor?
Yeah, there's just more to play off of with that song. Like just staging wise, you don't really have to give him a staging. He just does the staging for you. So I would have picked it, but I understand why they picked Reiley. It has international appeal, but it needs a live fine tuning.
Yeah, that's fair. And it's the same category as Poland as far as age group appeal. Do you see that comparison, James, or is that a different market we're talking about?
I see where he's coming from with that. Yeah, because personally, for someone in my age group, I think their online, the social media for Poland's been an absolute disaster, and it's not been better for Denmark. But I'm obviously not 21, so I don't I don't know how that's jiving with that particular audience. But yeah, I get what he's saying there.
Yeah. So, but our score, that's not everything. We need to hear from you as well. Go and down there. There is a link for Denmark. Vote. What score do they deserve? Or they, he. For some reason, I was thinking a band. They, the country. Anyways, vote. Give your score, and I will show you the results soon. We got a few more countries to go through, of course.